I want to switch gears to something that all founders face, which is, personal challenges, huge setbacks. This show is called The Challenger Mindset. How do you push through some of those, difficult moments? I've had CEOs talk about how they had to deal with COVID and even some of the other, big events that have happened. Can you think a bit about, your, trajectory and some of the things that you had to deal with?
So we look at ourselves certainly as a challenger brand. I think the consistent feedback that we heard forever is don't do it. And, if there's enough people with unanimous feedback, that's when entrepreneurs say, you know what, I'm going to do it.
I'm going for it.
And I like to think of our journey as if you take a busy subway station at rush hour and everyone is running out the door, what's it like to navigate your way back in if you left your scarf on the subway? That's not an easy journey, weaving and bobbing through all that traffic. And in the chewing gum world, it was very cluttered at the top, and then there was kind of nothing after that. So, as a challenger brand, we said, what do we need to do to kind of win the little battles? How do we grow our business and scale? And we didn't ever look at like the big prize. We never looked at like, let's try to be the biggest in the world. It's let's try to be bigger tomorrow than we were yesterday.
Wow.
If you don't get hooked on monetary goals, or you don't just try to hit a financial milestone, but you really try to connect with people. And that's what we've been focused on, is how do we introduce our product to people who haven't heard of it? So I love more than anything hearing you're a consumer, you give it to your kids, that warms my heart. But I also love hearing when someone says, I've never heard of that product before, because it says we've got a lot more work to do. And that's what, fires up the entrepreneurial journey and takes me back to day one, where it's like, I got to tell people about this product. I got to educate them. We have to make them more aware. And we wake up every day and we thrive on that energy.
What's next for Pure? What can we look for?
Well, one of the cool things that we're doing online is for Pure, we have really connected our customers online. So like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, someone said we should sell our products online. And it was like, who's going to buy gum on Amazon? And all of a sudden, people started buying gum on Amazon. Like, if you think about it, it's so logical. You can hear about a product, you can go to Amazon, you can put Pure Gum in, and there it is, and it's delivered to you the next day. Whereas in traditional grocery, gum is impulse, and you just kind of run into it. So whatever store you get hit in, or you walk into a grocery store, if you don't happen to go down the gum aisle, or you don't happen to go to the express lane versus a conventional lane, you don't see it. So we look at the internet as a great place to connect with consumers who are not only looking for variety, they're looking for fast delivery. And we continue to play with the e-commerce landscape as we move into different geographies, because smart consumers know what they're looking for, they know where to find it, and then they love the gratification of getting it the next day. And the key is really like, some of my entrepreneurial friends have a saying like, how do you level the playing field? And against big institutions, whether that's corporations, finance, insurance, whatever they may be, it's actually very hard to level the playing field. But what the internet has allowed entrepreneurs to do is level the playing field as fast as you can. And then it's about creativity, strategic dynamics. It's about how are you getting to your audience? What are you telling them? And it's a really cool dynamic, because as an entrepreneur, it's only getting easier and easier to have new opportunities. It's hard to harness them and hold them and have them be sustainable. But if you want something to happen, the platform is there to enable that.
And the tools.
You've got the tools. And that's really where, like, you go back to what the OG entrepreneurs, Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, anyone in a garage can take down the next big guy. Yeah. And they actually did it in a huge scale, but, we like to play around in the candy shop.
Exactly.